This is an introductory lesson in graphing numbers in the polar plane. So let's take a look at our polar graph. Imagine that we have an x and y axis going on top of this. Give you kind of a frame of reference. Imagine that the unit circle is on here, right here. That first guy right there is the unit circle. It has a radius 1. And each circle, as we move out, has a bigger and bigger radius. So this circle right here, that I'm tracing on now, has a radius of 2. This circle out here, a radius of 3, and so on until we get all the way to the outside of our graph paper. So we're going to start with a number in polar form. This looks like this, r comma theta. That's polar coordinate. And let's give ourselves the number 3, 2 pi over 3. So what this tells us to do is we go out to the third circle, 1, 2, 3, and we find the angle 2 pi over 3, and make a dot. Right there. Hope I got it. There we go. I went out to the third circle, 1, 2, 3, at 2 pi over 3, and that is my angle. Let's see if I can make that a little bit tidier for you. I want to make sure it's really in the right spot. There we go. So one neat thing about polar coordinates is that they can be represented in more than one way. Another way I could write the same angle would be 3, and then I could add 2 pi to my angle and get all the way around the unit circle again. So if I do that, I'll have 8 pi over 3. Let's fix that 3 up a little bit. Okay. There it is. All right. Another way we can represent polar numbers is by subtracting 2 pi. So my radius still would be 3. And my angle would be 2 pi over 3, take away 2 pi, or take away 6 pi over 3. So my angle is negative 4 pi over 3. There's one last way to represent a number in polar form, and that's to actually use a negative radius. I'm going to write down my formula up here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. A negative radius, and instead of adding pi or 2 pi, I just add pi. I meant instead of adding 2 pi or subtracting 2 pi, you just add pi. So having a negative radius would basically take you to the other side of the unit circle, like over here. But by adding pi, it brings you back around to where you need to be. So that means that there's more than one way to represent a number in polar form. Let's write down all the different possibilities. So we start with our angle r theta. We could have r and then theta plus 2 pi, or minus 2 pi, or we could have a negative radius, negative r, and then add or subtract just pi to it. So all of these are different ways to represent the same polar number. Let's try one more. I'm going to upload my polar graph paper one more time.